What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto, and welcome to a new market update. It's a little bit later. It's 7:30 in the evening, but just wanted to do to still look at the markets, look at some coins like Notcoin that I think are is still interesting to trade, and I do have some potential setups on there, which I also shared on my Twitter. So in general, go follow me on there. But just wanted to do a full overview. Because what we're seeing is quite a lot of bearish momentum, right? We had a pretty big sell-off in the last couple of hours, and I wanted to talk about that because in general, if you think about the market right now, look, it's very, I would say it's very mixed, all right? Because what you have is you have these bullish fundamentals, right? So if you look at the ETF flows, for example, sure, this week they were very negative, except for the 12th. Back then on Wednesday they were actually positive. But if you take a look at the net, it's very negative. But then if you compare to last week, like last week we got much more inflows than we had outflows this week. So the ETF, I would say, is still bullish. But then if you think about the market in general, and I already tweeted about this as well, like we had some major positive economic news this week. And that didn't last. I mean, if you look at the dollar strength index, you can actually see that continued to be relatively strong since Wednesday evening. So it's not that everything is going all right, but then if you look at the stock market, that's doing relatively well. Like that is still going up. And then if you compare that to Bitcoin, which sometimes is quite correlated to the stock market, that's not doing great. So those are all bearish signs, all right? And that was already like after the interest rate decision, like that we fully reversed a move like this. And in general, like last week Friday, and we already talked about it back then as well. So this is not completely strange and completely unexpected. Now, what we do, like if you follow the technicals and if you follow the moves, it's actually quite likely, or at least it was to be expected, that we would be more bearish. The more difficult part, and also the part where I don't really have a question, an answer to, excuse me, is why are we bearish now? Because I do think we are bearish. Now, obviously, we can turn it around because, like I said, we do have positive fundamentals with interest rates going lower this year, in general, with more money flowing into the markets. We have the US elections, which I do think will be a bullish catalyst. And then apart from that, yeah, I mean, those would be the main factors. I have the feeling I'm forgetting something, but all right, that's enough. So the fundamentals are bullish, but then we are relatively bearish right now if you look at the technicals. So the bearish momentum was to be expected, but why, right? I mean, why are we reacting negative? Like why did last week after the dump, why did we not recover so well? And why after we got some positive news this week, why did we immediately retrace that and drop down lower? And why do we get a sell-off right now, even though the asset markets in general are doing fine? So the conclusion is, which I do think is still the case, is that for now we are bearish until we see significant momentum going into the markets, significant volume getting into the markets, and a significant bullish breakout. I think you have to assume we'll be bearish. Now, if I would have to say what's the most likely reason for that, I think it's a mix between just in general the market structure, which right now we are consolidating. So we just hit the top of the consolidation here. It's quite logical that from the top you drop down to the bottom, which is right here around 61,000 for now. So that's like even though Bitcoin is not doing that bad. It's just that altcoin markets are absolutely suffering. And I think the reason for that is that you see more and more major altcoins doing their launches. And what you see now is that we have more and more altcoins, and sure, money in the market is going up, but there's not enough money to supply all these altcoins with bullish momentum, or just in general with positive prices. So that's what you see. You see more and more altcoins like with huge VC funding and great communities. You see them launch, you see them doing airdrops, and then you do see new value or new volume and new money getting into the markets, which you can see here, for example. With the stablecoin supply, but it's not enough. All right, and that's why I think the altcoin market as a whole, except for Bitcoin and Ethereum, I think Bitcoin and Ethereum are holding up relatively well. I think that's suffering, and it will not suffer forever, and altcoins will do well. But for now, when the market technically is giving off bearish confirmations, altcoins are not great to hold. So short term, what I expect for Bitcoin is a bearish continuation. Like I said, we can always turn it around, but if we do, I'll let you know. And until then, I'm bearish. All right, so now we are at the 0.618 fib, broke down below 66,000 and 66,500. I think that's a significant key level. So what I expect now is a continued drop into this level right here between 63,500 and 64,000 round. In the weekend, I don't expect many moves, so I wouldn't expect a huge dump for the remainder of today. It's a possibility, but I wouldn't expect it. And if I look at if I look at altcoins that are good to trade right now, like the Bitcoin dominance is bullish, so most altcoins will not be great to trade. A coin like BOEM looks bullish still, and if it's not, you can probably get a good short out of it. If you look at a coin like Ton is still making new all-time highs. A coin like NOT, I think, is quite interesting here because, well, we got some nice bullish momentum, but I do think that's turning around here, or at least on the short term, that seems to be turning around. So that's interesting. And then if I look at other cryptos like Kaspa, I think a good buy for Kaspa is coming up right here at 15 cents. That's interesting. Injective, perhaps, even though I don't really have a nice setup on that. I did share a good short setup on my Twitter, so that would be nice. Rose, if that continues to be bullish, there's a great resistance level here at 15 cents. That could be interesting. But that's really what I'm focusing on right now. So that's not a lot, but I do think you can monitor that as well. For now, that's what I think you need to know. All right, so if you do have any questions, let me know down in the comments. For now, thank you for watching. Take care and bye.